Full.
Hey,
Hey, we are live. Welcome to.
Mr. Gunn was waiting for us to go live. He just boom. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm doing
exactly.
the ice cream truck that comes by our house.
Thanks for
Uh,
time, Mr. Gunn. And this, sir, is Mr. Eric Tinkar.
don't. And I'm Eric Tenkar. I thought you were Eric Tenkar. I'm
No,
Eric Tenkar.
no, 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 no.
Oh, that's right. You're John Stewart. I'm sorry. I
Hello,
forgot.
Mr. Gunn. Well,
Uh, I,
introduce yourself.
I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. And with me is, it isn't John Stewart, but playing the role of John Stewart is none other
John
than
Stewart.
Old Man Grognard,
Hi,
Glenn,
folks.
Glenn Hallstrom. Holy cow.
Actually, it's Hallstrom. You know how they always mispronounce your
Uh,
name?
I,
Mispronounce mine too.
and I did that. Oh my God.
That's
Wait a
okay.
second.
You've been doing it. I just thought I'd correct you for once. And what are we drinking tonight?
I am drinking berry flavored circle with energy or some shit like that. So
Okay, cool. I know they put energy in there. I am polishing off um, the Oklahoma Soda Company, which is a local brewer. They
right,
have they have sodas. I mean, they say they have like cola and root beer and orange and usual stuff, but
right.
all I ever find in the stores are two different flavors: one cream soda and two this Mr. Twister, which is their version of Dr. Pepper,
And
cherry
how is
vanilla spice, and it is great. I love it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and every time I see it in the stores, I grab it. Okay, they're already talking about your dismissal of your lawsuit.
Who's talking about that? I didn't catch up to it. Oh, drinking tears of the plaintiff. Oh, 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 my heart be still. Ah, um. So yeah, so yes, Satran. It is the case against me, and depending on the time frame, either my mother or possibly my wife, who was never served, Rachel, has been dismissed and with prejudice.
Yeah, I was what with prejudice. That means he
Okay.
can't. That means he can't refile.
Right. That means essentially go fuck yourself, sit and rotate.
Now,
You're
did
really
now was
loser.
this just a decision you heard about, or was like did the judge say anything to him? It's like
The judge on Wednesday issued a 30-page order
uh-huh.
or response in response to our motion to dismiss, which essentially could be summarized as telling plaintiff's lawyer, "You suck."
Really?
Really, there's. I mean, I don't know if there's enough in there to get somebody disbarred, but there's enough in there to say plaintiff's attorney um, is didn't do a good enough job. Um, so sort of like when you're told, okay, so there's two things that you want to remove from your complaint because of the rule violation. One, that you claim that you no longer claim that making the claim that your client has a criminal record is false because it was true. You want to remove that, and the fact that you sued a 78-year-old at the time woman who happens to be my mother, that she should never have been sued. You wanted to remove that, and when you do update your paperwork, you just change wherever it said Lois to Rachel is not the equivalent of actually going through the proper service of suing somebody.
Right.
Which so yeah, it's just shenanigans going on. So I was very happy to, and the judge said it like I said I told you in the beginning that essentially, and this isn't the legalese that was used, but essentially it. I told you in the beginning that you had to state a case and you didn't, and I told you how to state a case, and I gave you a chance to revise it, and you didn't. So yeah, she sounded a little annoyed.
Well, congratulations on winning out, I guess.
Yeah, it was expensive. I'm not saying it wasn't. I think
It's never cheap.
no. So I like Glenn. I know that you just bought a house. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I could have bought a house out by you.
Maybe I.
146K
Wow.
is so yeah. It's a good thing I had the money. Somebody probably thought that I didn't have any funds, and that I was going to default and not hire a lawyer, or I'd hire a lawyer and then go bankrupt. And none of the above is true. So
Now, yeah, and yes, I am in the process of moving, as you can see behind me.
the shelves are empty.
Yes,
The shelves are empty.
yes, they are. And we pushed tomorrow we were supposed to have the movers in to move all the furniture, but we pushed it back for a week because they're redoing. They pulled up the carpet. They're finishing the floors, and it just so happens that I am coming down with a cold, and Becky threw her back out. So it's like, yeah, give us another week, okay? Let's push this back.
One more week. You get one more week. That's what you get.
Yes. And it's going rather well. We should be in by the end of the month.
Okay.
And the movers are gonna come next Friday, which happens to be my birthday. And it's like, wow, what a birthday present.
Happy birthday. Now get your ass in motion and pack this shit up.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I got most all my game stuff is over there, and whatever it is. And I got a little bit in the garage. I got to put all my movies are over there, all my Blu-rays. I got rid of the TV, as you can see, and the Blu-ray player. Those went to Gage.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and we also got rid of the couch and the recliner in the living room, and now she's complaining that she can't sit in a recliner now because of her back. And it's like, well, you should have thought of that before you gave it away, because she wants to buy new furniture for the place. So,
oh, okay, all right, I understand.
Move it along, Hallstrom. That's mine. Yes, I'm Glenn. Move it along, Hallstrom.
Move it, son, move it.
Yes. Oh boy, having loads of fun. Let me tell you. Now I guess I get to work on my my convention game, which I've been putting off. It's like I don't want to even think about the convention until we get all this stuff moved.
Oh God, I was going to submit a game for North Texas, and then I was like, you know what? I'll have something ready for North Texas, and do it as a pickup game, like Sunday morning or something like that, or Sunday afternoon.
That's good. I'm not worried about. Oh, that reminds me. If Bad Mike shows up, I got to tell him to take Gage's badge and move it to next year, because he won't be going.
What happened?
Work happened. He got a job, and he doesn't have enough PTO.
Okay.
So,
well, good on him for getting a good job. That's good, man.
Yeah, I was. He's a manager too, supervisor. Wow. Yes. yes, I'm doing gangbusters for the North Texas. In fact, I'm doing it 3 times.
Not
With,
once, but not twice, but 3 times.
yes, noon Fridays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's a first for me. Let's see if my stamina will hold out. I haven't signed up for any other games. I didn't think I'd have the energy.
I don't blame you, dude. That's a lot of DMing or
Yeah,
GM.
and Jason still wants me to run Mutant Future at the same time.
I know Jason was the one that was like, "Well, when are you running a game? Like, what time slot? What day?" I went, "I don't know." Now I realize I'm not, but I'm happy to do a pickup game and make sure that you and Jason are in it. I just don't. The time crunch was coming to get the game in, and I'm like, I don't even know what I want to run.
I understand, man. I understand. I sound a little stuffy tonight too. Okay, why don't you tell them what's new in gaming stupid? They just asked, or Mr. Gunn asked.
Wait, Mr. Gunn asked about gaming stupid. Oh yeah, I see his gaming stupid comment up there. Cynthia Williams resigned from
That's
WotC
right.
effective next Friday, I guess.
We got all the Williamses out.
No, too many Williamses. No more
many.
Williamses.
Too many Williams and D&D.
So there's a lot of speculation going on as to the why she resigned. Was she forced to resign? Is there something going on? Does she know what's coming down the pipe and doesn't want to be responsible for it? I don't have any inside information. I do know that I believe that next Wednesday, WotC is going to make their quarterly presentation to explain their earnings or lack thereof.
That's going to be
And
interesting.
then 2 days later she's gone. So read into that what you may. It is a very short notice.
I take it that WotC is no longer the golden goose of Hasbro.
Well, I mean, they've abused this goose, right? And that isn't that what always happens to the golden goose?
Yeah.
You know, squeeze it for more eggs, and then you squeeze so much you kill the goose.
Yeah, because for a while it's like WotC and D&D and Magic were basically keeping Hasbro afloat.
Well, I'm going to say, Glenn, what have you seen from WotC that makes you think of the 50th anniversary of D&D?
Oh, wait a minute. I know this joke. I give up. What?
Absolutely nothing. No, I mean, well,
Right.
close to it. I mean,
Thanks, Doc.
let's see. They're coming out with their book about the 50-year anniversary of D&D.
Yep.
That table, that like end table book, the book that's supposed to be a
Coffee
conversation.
table book.
Yeah, and what's the great thing about it? That they had to say that if it was basically up to them, they would have they include the original rules from the white box or wood grain box in the book, but they would change it today because it doesn't fit. Wouldn't fit their standards of equity and inclusion. But regretfully, it's historical. It's a historical record, so they can't change it, but they would if they could. That is just the stupidest shit. I swear to God.
Hey, Dave. Long time no talk.
But bump. Doc WotC will replace her with another wanker. Yeah, probably. Well, if you did conspiracy stupid, you could talk about the dummy lighting himself on fire.
I'm vaguely familiar.
The one that did it at the one of the trials. One of the trials that's going on today. Somebody lit themselves on fire, and they themselves, from what I can tell, are a conspiracy person.
Yeah,
So,
the funny part out is they use Fireball whiskey.
oof, oof. That's and the problem with the and I listen. I
That's
used
a
to.
border dad
No, it
joke.
was a cleaning agent, I thought.
Oh well, that if it was Fireball whiskey, I love Fireball whiskey. I no longer drink it. I make my own Fireball whiskey because if you're a diabetic and you have Fireball whiskey, it's just like drinking pure sugar. Goes down like candy, but oof, oof. Um, so yeah, make your own with a decent whiskey, cinnamon sticks, let it age for about a week, and flavor it with like liquid Splenda until you get to the point that you like it.
Liquid what?
Liquid Splenda or liquid
Oh,
stevia
Splenda.
or,
Splenda.
or liquid stevia. So we
Stevia
use
is even better.
yeah. So blood DM. This fast and no disaster that's on her hands, at least no disaster that Hasbro board review, I suspect personal reasons. Here,
Good, good reason.
no disaster that's been announced yet. It could be that we're going to hear about a disaster this coming week, and if we do, it's going to be about the VTT. I'm going to say that. And the VTT is where they've taken that golden goose that Glenn was talking about, and they've put it in this basket called virtual tabletop, and they're saying everybody come and see our goose, and the goose right now is tits up.
The goose
So
cooked.
yeah, so it just it isn't looking good. Uh, Mr. Gunn, when you stick your arm up the up, wait, when you stick your arm up
The
their
gooses.
up the goose's
Cloaca.
Thank you, Rach. That's Rachel coming in from behind. She taps. Yeah. It's like a wrestling match. She came in to save me. Cloaca, things go downhill.
Speaking of coming in from behind, he's talking about a Croatia.
Yeah. Oh, oh,
Ooh.
oh. Hiatus, Watsy is still the golden goose. My understanding is that Monopoly Go is under the Watsy side, and that game has made millions. Well, it's under, not necessarily under the Watsy side, but Cynthia was president of Watsy and Digital Gaming. So I guess it would be under Cynthia's portfolio, as as we call it in the business, her portfolio. Um, that D&D and Magic the Gathering are not their core IPs anymore. Well, they
Magic
still are.
is not a core IP. I find that hard.
Magic is $1 billion business,
I have,
and
I find that hard to believe.
now here let's talk something else about Watsy slash Cynthia. Under her watch, Baldur's Gate 3 made millions of dollars under licensing. However, that's a license that was not done under her. That was done under her predecessor. Under her watch, Larian Studios said, wait a second. More content? Baldur's Gate 4? No. Expansions? No. Go fuck yourself. We're gonna do our own IP. We don't need D&D to make good games. We don't need WotC. So and the word on the street is that Larian doesn't want to ever work with WotC again.
Interesting.
Now, why? Now that's not a good sign for Lorraine.
No.
Not Lorraine, Cynthia. Oh my God!
I told you we got all
Williams.
the Williams out of there.
I went back in time to a Williams that hasn't been around since the turn of the century. Oh my God! Zatrin, then if they were doing reprints, they would have.
I think she's Cynthia Williams. You never see them both in the same room.
What they cloned her and made her younger?
No,
You're now a younger version.
I don't know. I'm just
So
thinking they resemble each other, so I figured like, doppelgangers, huh?
maybe. I mean, Cynthia Williams, 2 days before she announced her, sorry, 2 days before Watsy announced her resignation. Her resignation was announced on Wednesday, I believe, but she handed it in on Monday, so she actually gave a 2 weeks notice to the day. But on the day of her resignation, an article came out. It's a fluff piece, but in it she admits that she never played D&D.
Oh,
She saw the kids
I
playing.
believe that.
I
totally
believe it too. She's like, yeah, I would. Why would I play this game? Oh my god! Get my my hands? No, 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 no! I'm not doing that. This they're talking about triggers. I don't even know a trigger to talk about triggers. Oh my god! Uh, uh, we're not talking about combat wheelchairs, folks. I'm sorry. I know, and I'll be honest with you. I don't know honestly if Lorraine is part of the culture war. I think she's more a part of the war on physical products. I think that's where we. I think that the any culture war that's going on at WotC is the mid management that is pushing that. I don't believe it's the executives. I think the executives are about making money, and I think that's part of the conflict, right? The executives want to make money, mid management wants a culture war, and the two don't mix. And the game suffers for it. If Mr. Gunn, if Cynthia did not get a better offer, I believe she is the sacrificial goat to cover Chris Cox cock ups. I see what you did there, sir. I see what you did with Chris Cox.
And it's not the good version of a goat.
Oh, is there a good version of a goat?
Oh, GOAT, greatest of all
Uh,
time. That would be
Blue.
me.
Okay, Blood DTM. I think the OGL is a blip from a corporate point of view. DNDB, DND Beyond, I'm assuming. Subs are more significant, but Magic has been making lots of money, even if annoying some vocal fans.
No, true, it has.
So now, WotC also gives a whole mixed signals on this whole AI shit, right? Because they keep on revealing that they've used AI art. And it's like, we can't use it. We use it again. Oh! But then Chris Cox himself is, oh, the future of gaming, the future of D&D is AI. I know.
What can I say? Not much. I better say something. I'm on the show. Boop, boop.
I'm just catching up.
I know. Dave and them. Dave's being an old man again. I heard
You damn kids, get off my lawn so I can sleep. Tammy, she didn't need to admit to that. It was obvious from the start, and she's had years to learn it. Any good leader learns the craft.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I honestly believe she's kind of like, don't worry, just don't. This whole Dragons and Dungeons game.
The other Williams didn't play D&D either, and look what happened.
Yeah. Well, she the first thing she did was like, oh, wait a second, this Star Frontiers game, get rid of that. I own a science fiction property. Buck Rogers. We're gonna do Buck Rogers using D&D. Buck Rogers. That wasn't much of a success, now was it? Although I did enjoy the Sega Genesis game. It's one of the few Sega Genesis RPGs I actually finished.
Although the Savage Worlds Flash Gordon game is pretty popular.
Oh well, all right. Savage Worlds, you love it or you hate it, or you You grok it or you don't, and I still don't grok. I don't understand how.
Well, I had to plug something that Mr. Woodard did. I figured that's the best one. That's the best way to do it.
Fair enough.
I'm sure.
Lorraine, Cynthia, Iggs, Tasha the Duck. Is it Sabbath Dark Magic? Oh, or is that too much of a flashback? Oh, we're going back to Glee Max. We talk about Sarah Dark Magic, aren't we?
Ooh.
Well, you don't like Glee? Come on. Listen, as has already been pointed out, the last time Watchy did this like little death spin for D&D was the advent of 4E, right? And the advent of 4E was dependent on what? What were they putting all? They took the goose of 3rd edition and put it in the basket. And that basket was to be powered by?
The apocalypse.
Not quite. By a VTT, right? That was the future of D&D.
So I guess they put the golden goose into a blender instead.
If I had a blender sound effect, I'd put it on right now.
Yeah. But we don't.
I'm
You
all
okay?
verklempt.
You okay?
I was about to put out a big belch, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm on the air. That would suck.
You can belch on the air. I don't care. Hey, I rhyme.
I don't care if you belch on the air. I gotta.
So,
I'm doing that old man shit. I'm checking my blood sugar.
I haven't played in 3 weeks.
All right, that's
well, the Monday game. I dropped the Thursday game, and the Monday game is like just one thing after another, and we couldn't all get together. So cancel City, you know.
That sucks.
Well, I'll probably play this Monday. I begged out last Monday because packing.
Oh yeah.
And if I don't feel any better than what I do right now, I probably won't be going this Monday either. But you know, gaming is kind of taking a backseat of getting all this stuff moved. So, I mean, I even suspended Radio Grognard for a while.
I saw that, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" You've got addicts that are going to be like going,
well,
I need my fix.
Well, it's supposed to be back this Monday, but that remains to be seen. I usually, when I do, when I drop off on, if I close up for hiatus, like going to the con or something happened or something, usually I have one in the hole to have when I come back. But not this time. I may record one this weekend or something, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's depressing.
Yeah, no, man. I
haven't gotten to play in years. Wow.
I went through that from 97 through, I want to say 2004, but maybe it was a little bit later, maybe 2008. Actually, probably 2008, where I think I played one random session on AOL.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back a day and a half, a year and a half, a lifetime and a half. And then I found Fantasy Grounds, the original Fantasy Grounds, and played some, was it Warhammer 40K, Dark Heresy, and then some Castles and Crusades, and slowly came back to gaming. I mean, I never fully left. I was still buying shit. Don't get me wrong. But
that's usually the case.
Yeah, it's like during the 3rd edition era, I must have spent thousands of dollars on 3 ebooks that I never played, and I didn't have a group to play with. So
I understand.
No fantasy. No fantasy swords and sorcery in over 4 years. All right, but he ran towards the woods in November and played in a superhero game. You didn't step away. You're still in it. You're still in it.
Yeah, you still stepped in. Yeah, you're in it.
Mr. Gunn, this action sounds like my sex life, but I'm too much personal information there, Mr. Gunn. Too much personal information. Don't need to hear about it. Don't need to know.
Yeah.
Cal, it was fun because I have all painted minis for use in my games. David, about 2 years for me getting the herbs to GM again. There you go. Not too shabby. Mr. Gunn, they don't call it vacation land for nothing. I'm afraid to ask. Damn it. I'm afraid. Oh, up there in that main world. That's all right. Now I was
What?
like, I was thinking Candyland, and they don't. I'm like, what game was? And then I went, oh, vacation. Oh, yes, Maine. I got you now. And hey, boo boo, let's get me some picnic baskets, Mr. Ranger.
Hello, Mr. Ranger, sir.
What? I haven't seen Yogi Bear and a cartoon for Yogi in probably about 30 years or longer.
Yeah, and he's missing you too.
I miss Yogi. Mr. Forest Ranger, sir. I was like, oh no. But Yogi, what are we gonna do without our picnic stuff? It's like, oh my God. And it's
Jack.
it's like Magilla Gorilla. Probably haven't seen a Magilla Gorilla cartoon.
I can't even. If they rerun it, I couldn't watch a Peter Potamus cartoon because I watched Harvey Birdman too much, where he's like the office creep. And you get that thing? You get the thing I said? Get the thing?
Oh my God.
Oh man. Yeah, now great. All my Blu-rays are at the old house. Great. You start talking, I want to watch some Johnny Quest.
See, I never got into Johnny Quest.
I did, sort of. I got into him more as an adult because when I was a kid, like, adventure, give me the comedy. But now I go back and watch them. I go, these are pretty good for Hanna-Barbera. Wow.
Oh, all right. I mean, I've seen some Johnny Quest when was it the Cartoon Network or was it Boom? I forget which was playing them. But although I have cable, I never turn on my cable box. I am bad. I am bad. I just do the tube, the YouTube. It's on my TV.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much 90% of my viewing. If it's not that, then it's Amazon Prime or Netflix. Which by the way, we will talk about. Glenn, you watched Fallout yet?
Bits and pieces.
The new series.
I find it very interesting.
I actually finished it. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I found the first episode not great. The first episode wasn't bad, but it didn't draw me in. There was nothing about the first episode that made me go, "Oh yeah, I need to see that second." But once you see the second episode, then you're like, "Oh shit!"
It clicks.
It did click.
Well, I watched bits and pieces. I came to the conclusions. This is a more serious Idiocracy, because that's the vibe I was getting off of it.
Well, there's some. By the time you get to the last episode, you understand a bit more of what's going on in that trio of connected vaults, and it's like, oh, gee, okay. Tammy, Eric, I'm so happy. You left out the joy. Happy, joy. You gotta do the Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's do it again.
Yeah,
Happy
do it
Julie,
again,
Julie,
man.
Julie, happy Julie, Julie, happy
Happy Julie.
Yeah.
That your case was dismissed.
There you go. There's an earworm for you.
Yeah. Your case was dismissed, and I predicted the hobby which you love is going to love you back. We will take care of those dollars that you spent. I know that Bad Mike and Jim Kitchen are talking about running a GoFundMe or some sort to help with that,
Wow.
and I do appreciate it. Again, as I stated on Wednesday, the monies that were used in my defense and defense of my mother, and I guess essentially Rach, those monies were monies from the World Trade Center Fund that were awarded when my cancer, my Hodgkin's was designated as 9/11 related. So there was an award, not a reward, an award, a compensation for that, the compensation fund. So my defense monies came from that. But and not to be morbid, all right, but I have congestive heart failure.
Still?
Well, you never get, you always have it. You know,
That means I
it's in
always have.
remission. Yeah, it's in remission.
Wait a minute. Mine
Yeah.
went back to normal.
Oh, mine's close to normal. My injection fraction's like 46% now.
I think
And
it's weird because the doctor said my heart shrank because I had an enlarged heart over that.
Right.
And he said, like after it was all gone, like 6 months, oh, your heart's normal. It's like they can shrink. I thought once you had an enlarged heart, that was it.
Oh yeah, listen. In the case of my heart, parts of my heart were essentially dead. But I was also told that, well, actually, it's more like it's in stasis, and so theoretically possible for it to come back or reawaken. But the reality, listen, we're all gamers, right? So we all like think in the thing of odds, and the odds are I'm older than Rach by 4 years, so the odds are I will predecease her. And the idea was that these were monies that we were putting aside and investing. So if and when that happened, Rach would have a nest egg to rely upon. And sadly, most of our nest egg got dropped into a frivolous, defending as a frivolous lawsuit, which I am going to spitball, theorize that it was filed for multiple reasons, one of which from the cease and desist. It seemed obvious to me. It wanted my conversations with Don Samora, specifically as they related to the Watsy case, which, why are you asking for that? But, I know why you're asking for that. And wanted to shut me up. And it wanted to prevent me from being a witness in the Watsy case. Well, guess what? The potentiality of me being a witness in the Watsy case out in federal court in Washington State has gone up exponentially from where it was even before the lawsuit that was filed against me. So I am looking forward to what the future holds. How's that sound? I think that sounds pretty good.
Sure, why not?
Go Team Venture.
Yay, Buddy Quest.
Our game was shut down by friends' religious parents in around
1981. Circa 1981. That's when I started.
Darn it, dude, you and your meddling religious parents. Oh, Thundar.
Tim Schneider, if you hear me, come back to North Texas and run another Thundar game. That was great. It was glorious. That was so much fun.
Thundar was a lot of fun. I didn't understand the implied history behind Thundar, but I don't know if there was one. I just knew it was a lot of fun to watch.
And Mutant Future works great for that.
Mr. Gunn, if you only watch the first episode of Fallout, you're gonna. I've had other people say, "Oh, it's amazing." I've had other people go, "Oh." I found the first episode visually amazing, but confusing. It really should have been the first two episodes, packaged together. So but that doesn't make a difference. Once you get through the second episode, because you're gonna have a temptation, quite likely, to stop with episode one. Fully through it, it gets a lot better. And the main character, whose name I don't remember, the female, I thought I had two worries. One, that she was going to be a Mary Sue, and two, that her character was not going to be likable. And I got to say, I like her character, and she's not a Mary Sue, and she is showing that the character growth and with that character has been very good. So,
Happy,
Jamie, I watched every episode of Ren and Stimpy many times over. Wish I had used that happy, joy.
Happy, joy.
Stimpy! Stimpy, you fat, bloated idiot!
You sick little monkey. Well, gee, man.
Cal, we need to check the actuary tables in Gary's basement. Mr. Gunn. Yeah, I agree. The story is a bit confusing. I enjoyed the series a great deal. It was just that first episode. There was so much they were trying to set up that it splashed all over the place. But yes, it got better. Lucy, I'm home. When you got Glenn and I on the show, you know people are going to do voices. Give us an excuse. I know. What? Me surprised? It's going to be voices? Zatron, I was bored out of my mind in episode 1. After that, every episode was more fun than the last for me. Exact episode there. Episode 1, the pacing was off. It didn't hit its stride, and it was confusing. So yeah, that's.
No, I wasn't paying attention because my stepson was here for the weekend, and I know when he arrives, he's going to be like monopolizing our TV with Netflix and other streaming services, trying to binge watch something, and that was one of the ones. But is this, like I said, I wasn't paying attention. Is this an hour-long show?
Roughly.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I noticed when I watched the first season of Mandalorian, I noticed, oh wow, there's like different run times on each episode. I didn't know you could do that in streaming.
Right. I think the first episode was like an hour and 15. The next one was 58 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I'm saying.
They tell just as much story as they need to.
Right. But I hear, I'm not going to give away any of the Easter eggs. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. But, and then Glenn, I'm pretty sure you're like me. You watch many movies, many TV shows, many series.
I have.
And you can usually pick out the twists and turns long before they happen. That's me. I go, oh, I know what's going to happen, and I'll tell Rach. I go, coming up from this, they're going to turn evil. Like, what? I go, trust me. And I was able to do that in the first episode. I was able to go, hey, I can tell you right now what's going to happen. And after the first episode, that was it. I had stuff going. I didn't see that coming. I'm like, where the fuck? Hold on. What? How did that? I got to rewatch this to see if I missed any hints, because. So that to me is a sign of a good show. When you can surprise me multiple times in an eight episode series, where I go, and not just surprises where you go, well, that was fucking stupid. I've done that. And that doesn't make it where you go, holy shit, that fit. But how did I? Where did I should have seen it. How did I didn't see that twist. How, and you're like, holy shit, because when you can see the twist, a lot of times it's just like, I knew that was coming. Fuck you. And it's like, oh man, you kept me going. You fucking tricked me. You misled me. Awesome. Holy shit. So I
Like the Honor Among Thieves, yeah. That didn't go where we thought it was going to go.
No.
All the time.
No,
Thought it more like the Honeymooners. Oh boy.
Ah.
Hey,
No,
Ralph.
it's
Hey, Ralph.
only it's Glenn and I. That hey, Ralphie boy.
Hey, Ralphie boy. They're talking about me. Talking about you.
Norton.
I used to do a good Gleason, but I don't do that anymore. Let's see, I can't. You say when I'm on, you're going to have voices. You're doing the voices because I got a cold.
I got the sniffles too. You hear my sniffles?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the nasal. That's the post nasal. That's the sinuses.
Oh yeah.
It drains out.
I'm on the verge of being a mouth breather for a while because my nose gets, I'm hitting the choroid and I'm hitting the afferent, trying to keep it clear.
There you go.
But better now have a cold now than at convention time.
Mr. Gunn, yep, a lot of TV is very tropey, and you can easily predict the twist or the ending.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm going to say this. I believe that the first episode tried to play off on that. Like, we're going to give them a trope. And they'll just see it, and they'll be like, oh, I can predict the rest of the series. I know exactly where it's... Holy shit, I have no idea where it's going.
I love that.
So that was actually pretty cool. And when you do things like, I didn't realize that was also that. Oh, well, that's interesting. Mr. Gunn, I thought all you dipshits were dead. Chris, Tenkar, congrats on winning your legal battle. Thank you. It was a long, drawn-out fight. You had a rope-a-dope, and my opposing attorney was the dope.
Well, at least you had good counsel.
I did. No, I had two amazing lawyers. They were well worth every penny spent on them, and I am blessed, And there was an assumption being made on the other side that because Tenkar doesn't own any property, he's broke. And this I got served right after I started talking about how I needed to sell off part of my gaming collection, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. And it's not because I need the money; it's because I need the fucking room. I need to sell off shit like my duplicates, like the board games that I bought on Kickstarter, like that take up so much fucking room, like my ogre. My Kickstarter ogre box set. I need room for new shit because Rach is getting tired of games being stacked on the floor, like chest high. That's not the way. I'm sure Glenn's going through some of this right now because he's getting ready to move, and it's like, whether it's games or Blu-rays, it's like,
I talked to this guy named Heath who does videos on collecting DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, and he's talking about physical media, it's really nice, but the downside is you got to have the room and all this other stuff. And I just wrote, and if you're renting all the time, you got to schlep this stuff all over the place all the time every few years.
Mm-hmm. So Tammy, his lawyer could not count. His lawyer let filings go through that were filled with mistakes.
Wow.
His lawyer didn't know how to. I don't know. Was it the second or third? Like second is like 2 with an ND, not 2D. as in that's two-dimensional. I mean, it was just sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. I cannot, no, I don't think so. I personally think that opposing counsel was out of their comfort zone. Opposing counsel was an attorney who was or is best known for defending on a federal level criminal clients that need a defense that is from usually the Legal Aid Society or the equivalent of it, including things. I think the Blind Sheik was somebody that he defended as part of a team. So that is his claim to fame. He's not an unknown lawyer. But I also did a little opposition research and saw that in his divorce case, he represented himself. And that didn't go as well as possible. And essentially, he did not get the house. He got his Hess truck collection. That was actually in the ruling. He got his Hess, and if you're a Hess truck collector, I can understand how important that is to you. But if you're not a divorce attorney, maybe you should hire. Even lawyers hire divorce attorneys if they're getting divorced because you want somebody who specializes in it. Like he said, this was not his specialization.
I would have loved to been a fly on the wall to see what Mr. Lunas's lawyers actually thought of him.
Well, I would say, judging from the bankruptcy, I'm just going to go and talk about the bankruptcy for a second. In the bankruptcy, one of his debtors, or one of the people that he owed, I should say one of the people that TSR owed money to was his attorney out in Washington State for the Watsi case. If you're not paying your attorney, I don't know how you can expect the best representation.
That's true.
I know legally, theoretically, they have to give you their best representation.
Got to take their best shot.
But if you're not getting paid, I don't know how much get up and go if it gets up and
goes.
Cal, I'm lucky I have an old hayloft for my game overflow.
You didn't have that many games? Wow.
Chris, on a fun note for anyone that collects D&D stuff, I opened a blind box of the first edition Monsters miniseries and got the Red Dragon. Anyone collect these two for fun? I didn't even know there was a Monster miniseries. I knew not, and they got collectibles. They've got like rares and stuff. I had no idea. Wow. Okay. Cal, I probably have some, but don't actively collect them. I collect old and new metal models.
Well, before I gave all my minis away to Gage, there's like 90% of them were lead.
So you wanted to give the kid lead poisoning?
He's of age. But no, these date back way,
I know. I like my old Grenadier minis. No, those things were heavy, man.
They were.
Holy Christmas, huh? You get them at Barnes. I don't even know if there's a Barnes and Noble left in New York City. All the ones that I used to go to have closed over the few years. Unless, Cal has 15,000 minis. Holy shite, Cal. Holy shite.
I'm right there with you, pal. You know what I do? This kind of I'm going to drag you into Blu-ray territory again, but Becky kind of laments about, do you have to have so many movies? All those damn movies, all those movies. And then I go on Facebook page a group that do DVD collecting and stuff.
Right.
And everybody's showing off their collection. And I said, look at this guy. He's got a whole wall and a half of DVDs and Blu-rays. Look at this guy. He's got a whole room, like a library filled with them. So I wouldn't complain if I were you. I have a small collection compared to all these. See, I'm not the kind of guy. This goes for role-playing games too. You got these people who go out and have to buy the latest and greatest, whether they like it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially people who collect TV shows. TV shows, I have certain criteria, like no more than 5 years. But I see these people go, season 23 of The Simpsons is out. I got to get it. So you're going to be collecting until you die. And it's the same way with role-playing games. The big fancy, the big shiny comes out, and everybody's buying everything.
Right.
I did that. That's how I get gaming. Made me a smarter buyer, because after like 5 years of being in the hobby, I looked at all this stuff that I'm never ever using, and little stupid things like, remember the Dragon Bone? I had a Dragon Bone.
A Dragon Bone.
I had a Dragon Bone, and I never used it. And it's like, why the hell did I look at these things and go, why the hell did I buy them? From that to bad modules to wonky games, you got to be a little more discerning.
Yeah.
I think that's, this stage of the internet, I think people are. Look at all the reviews. I'm not talking just my reviews. Look at all the reviews out for different game systems and supplements and stuff. So we can make an informed decision. Unlike, never mind.
No, that's actually very good points, Glenn. I mean, honestly, I've cut back on the Kickstarters that I support, because I get to the point where it's like I've got unread gaming material that if I read for 8 hours a day, 365 days a year, I'd probably have 2 years of reading material, not including what I own in PDF from things like Humble Bundle and Bundle of Holding. So I understand it. It's
oh yeah. I found out I have like 18 Kickstarters, and save for one, and I'll let you guess which one. They've all fulfilled, and I'm just not doing it for a while.
Could it be Far West?
No, I didn't subscribe to Far West. It's another one we know that are near and dear to our hearts.
Near and dear.
The only one that hasn't fulfilled is Yar.
Oh my God, Yar.
And every once in a while, maybe 6 months or so, we get an update on why it's not coming out.
Yeah, I'm still kind of not even like a PDF.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on this new, and it's gonna. I mean, just shit it out already. Just please.
This was the last Kickstarter I backed, and that was last year, and they just fulfilled like a couple of weeks ago. It's the One Deck game and scorecards. You can play card games with this. You can play backgammon with this. You can play chess with this. You can play checkers with this.
Really?
Yeah. And if I can ever get the damn thing open, I'll show you what they look like. Yeah, I like they're portable. I like their little square cards because you can just throw them in a pack. And what happened?
I gave you full screen so you could show.
Oh, I thought you left or something.
I did not leave. I still here.
Okay.
I don't leave you. No, very abandoned. No.
See, look, they look like this. So you got the number, and you got you can use them for poker chips too. And they're black, and you get the red deck. You can probably do checkers, and you got the pawn there, and it's really kind of cool. Here's another one. See that?
The bee ship.
Look at the dots. You can probably do dominoes with these too.
Oh shit! I didn't realize I didn't see
Yeah.
that there, but you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I backed this like, I don't know, November, December, somewhere around there. And looks like I'm playing right now. I'm playing 52 pickup with these cards.
Let's play war.
But that's really cool. And I just thought it was a cool idea. I backed it. It wasn't very expensive. I think I spent $25 on it.
That's not bad.
For 2 decks. You know, that's all I wanted I said I want a black one, I want a red one. You know, because there's a game that Becky's family seems to play called Nuts. I never played it. But apparently you need 2 decks, 2 differing decks. Usually a red deck and a black deck. And so, yeah, look at this one. Look at that one.
Oh, so wait. Oh, so now
That's an ace.
Oh, and I guess you don't need it for chess. So
No.
that would not be included. Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me, CARTESIAN, Cartesian cards. And that's without glasses, folks. That's pretty impressive.
I am impressed, Glenn.
It's hard to say without any teeth. But yeah, that was my last Kickstarter. And like I said, that was from like a year ago. I think
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Chris, my favorite OSR I play is Dark Places and Demogorgons from Blow Games. And
Blow Games does good games.
Zombibibes, second edition.
Zombibibes?
I'm not sure if it's Zombies. Maybe it's Zombies, second edition. And I have a bunch I've not even run yet. Still waiting.
Yeah, good old they survived this system.
All right, Zombies. All right, so it's a typo. Listen, there are games that are spelled wackily, and you kind of go, "Is that a typo?" And you're like, "Oh no, it's not a typo. That's totally the way." So, don't worry about it, Chris. I just got I don't have my very own built-in spell checker, so I don't always figure it out. You know, I'm working on it, but I'm not always the one.
You're liking, yeah.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Like I said, that the Kickstarter thing has slowed down to a crawl for me. It's one of those things where I've got to really be digging this thing to really back it.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
No. Screw you.
Whatever you say, kid. Whatever you say.
And
this is the part. And this is the part of the show where I mute myself.
Mute yourself, Glenn. That's okay. It's a snotty situation. It's all right.
All right, I'm back. Okay. Staring at some echoes. Anyway, gaming. Doing any lately?
We game every other Tuesday.
What happened?
So our last session in Joe the Lawyer's 2E by the book with 24 house rules. So not by the
200 dozen whores. I'm sorry, no.
2,000 harlots. Harlots, I tell you, harlots.
Oh, yeah. D&D, you got to call them harlots.
Yeah, not whores, they're harlots. We've been playing this for about a year, every other week. I just hit 5th level with my 2nd level gnomish priest.
Wow.
Yeah, I got 3rd level spells. I'm like, holy shit. And well, you know, I gotta say, I have a staff of the crocodile or some shit like that. So listen, in the olden days, a 5th level character would have magical armor, a ring of protection, some potion. I've got one magic item on 5th level. So I gotta say, Joe's doing a very good job keeping the magic items limited, but he's also doing a good job not throwing shit at us that can only be hit by magical items, magical weapons. Because if he did, the party would be fucked. I don't know how much magic we actually have.
You know, I just got a good tip. I think it was on YouTube. I think it was Professor Dungeon Master, or it could have been a blog. I don't know. But somebody said, you know, when he's playing, I think he's playing, he's running 5e. And he says, you know, when I have a character like a lich, I will go in and pull out spells from like basic and 1st edition and 2nd edition and 3rd and 4th edition that aren't in the current one. And everybody goes, you can't do that. I said, yeah, he's that old. He knows this magic.
Yeah. You know, his magic missile is the old magic missile spell.
Yes.
It does D6 damage.
Yes.
You better watch his out. You know, it's like, huh? So
and I thought I looked at that, or I saw it, I go, brilliant.
You done did good, grasshopper. But
whatever you are.
So that's the like North Texas. They did the open registration on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even log in for it. And it's not that I didn't want to. It's just I had so much stuff going on.
I didn't want to. I was tired. I was busy.
Yeah. So, and Bloom, an old fireball that burns the PC's equipment and melts the gold. I like it. Well, yeah, that's what was funny, right? If you failed your saving throw, then everything you owned
was burnt.
Saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we had saving throws for items. So,
oh, by the way, those of you who are going to North Texas, I think it's my Saturday game. I have a few seats left over for my Gangbusters game.
What time is that, Glenn?
Noon
on Saturday.
They're all noon. I just went down the board.
Chris, Tenkar and Old Man Grognard. I think things are changing in the winds. I have so many 5th edition burnout that want to play in my Osric Greyhawk campaign that I had to put on a waiting list.
Wow,
it's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Well, let me tell you, my Thursday game, Matt switched over to Castle and Crusades because he got PO'd at WotC doing the OGL thing. But before that, we were playing Rules Cyclopedia Basic. You want to know why?
Why?
He got burned out by 5th edition too. He isn't even playing Mythgartha anymore. What happened was I need a break. Can you run something? So I ran Hyperborea. And afterwards, he said, I forgot how fun the OSR is. So I'm going to go back. I'm not going to do 5e anymore. It's just, he got burned out by it. And so now we're playing Castles and Crusades or something else, which is great. I'm glad I had that effect on him.
That's pretty cool, Vaughn.
Yeah. Even though I'm not with the group anymore. That's the move, Anyway, how you feeling?
I've been feeling pretty good, man. I can't complain. My blood sugar has been about 35 points lower than it had been, and that's because my doctor added some old medication. One of those ones where 3 months costs like $6.
You know what Gage says? He says, you guys are never going to go into a nursing home. Those things are terrible places. Even if I have to get home nurse care. And I kept thinking, like, why? There's so many other people in a nursing home that I can convert to D&D or role-playing games.
With assistant, listen, if you're an assistant, there's 2 ways this goes, because I've seen this with my mother's cousins. Okay. Assisted living, is expensive. However, it is like I don't know, it can be like an elderly resort living. It's like, hey, go down to the restaurant for all three of my meals, or have brought to my room, and then you got the game room, you got this, you got the viewing room, and that looked actually pretty cool. I'm like, hey, I could offer to run D&D for the seniors.
Exactly.
But when you get to a nursing home,
That's different.
that's different. That is much more restrictive, and most of the people there are on Medicaid. And
All added up to.
yeah, you might have a roommate, you know. Oh.
Oh,
So if you get to
something to think about in my old age. Converting gamers that are like 70 years old.
yeah, so I mean, when Rachel and I got married, my mother was like, "How about you two live here, and if we get older, if we get to the point where we need an assistance, you're our assistants, or you know." And it's like it made sense. It makes sense. You know, you kind of keep it in the family. Zatrin, does CNC Castle of Crusades use the OGL, or is it Creative Commons SRD based now?
I
think
believe it is OGL.
I think it's OGL. I don't think they changed it yet.
No.
You know, some games have changed. I know
Castles
Basic
and
Fantasy
Crusades,
did,
Castles and Crusades is third edition done right.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they could. It might require some rewriting to put it under the Creative Commons, because as I did a video a couple of weeks ago about WotC now has. It's kind of like, wait a second. We promised that we were going to put the older SRDs into the Creative Commons.
Yeah.
We said that. Show me. Oh, we said it there. No, but we don't say it anymore. Look in our latest updates. It's not there.
The internet has always has evidence.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, I don't even need a Wayback Machine to see it. It's on their website that they talked about it and they promised it, and then they kind of went, "Don't worry about it. Oh, you're so silly. Why don't you look at this shiny new um Creative Commons for 5e? I think you'll find that suitable. But I have products that are released under the third edition SRD, and I'd like to be able to continue using them or continue publishing with them without the fear of the. Well, you don't need the OGL, just use the Creative Commons. You don't have it for the third edition SRD. Oh, well, listen, we promised that we would never take back the OGL. Wait a second. Just over a year ago, you said you were taking away the OGL. Well, you can take our word for it that we're not going to take away the OGL, but really you should use the Creative Commons. But you don't have a Creative Commons for the third edition. We fired everybody that was working on that. Everybody. They're all gone. So don't worry. It's a priority. It's a priority after we finish the VTT. Good luck.
Yeah. That'll be 12th than ever.
Yeah. Chris, all my players are mostly under age 30 years of age. Before them started at work with me running Osric and tried 5th edition and said it was too easy.
God bless him.
I like to hear this shit's too easy. Take the training wheels off, damn it. I don't want training wheels on my games. 5e's biggest problem is that it's far too easy. There you go. Lynette Paride. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. We are in the same medicine.
Well, 5e has to be too easy just to get it a more mass appeal. Lowest common denominator, remember?
Yep.
That's how you make the big bucks.
So, I mean, that was the idea behind 4e, was going to make everybody the same. I mean, not the same. I mean, equal. 4E was I guess gaming equity. Um, every class had the same combat chart, right? A wizard fights as good as a fighter, but we're gonna just change the definition of how you're fighting. But it's all the same. It's
And
all the
that was before combat wheelchairs too. So,
oh well.
now that I think about it, I think I want to play a character with a combat wheelchair.
So now I got a question for you, Glenn. And
I want to play a wizard who is basically Guy Caballero from SCTV. I'm only using this for respect.
Hey. Oh, I got a question for you,
What?
Glenn. When you go into the dungeon and you
Yeah.
gotta lower yourself down a ladder, that iron rung ladder in the wall, how does the combat wheelchair get down there?
That's a good question. They don't build accessibility ramps for those dungeons.
No. I'm sorry.
See, I just hit wheelchair and all down the shaft.
Your dungeon does not pass the American Disability Act. It's not an ADA compatible dungeon.
Yeah,
But
OSHA will get you.
an OSHA might get you because you're all employees of somebody, right? So you got to make sure it all fits within. But don't worry, because you know what? We got you covered. You know they say you can't take weapons on you're even an adventurer, right? You got to take all your weapons behind. Well, guess what? You got a cane. That falls under the Americans with Disability Act. It's not a weapon, it's a medical device. Just no sword canes that we know of, all right? Just keep that stuff, keep it covered. Keep it covered.
Yeah, sure. Sure, that'd work.
I wish the OSR could get a big influencer like Jenny D to start making noises about getting third edition SRD into Creative Commons. Well, and listen, I'm not going to get into this big Jenny D argument.
I think we get better influencers. She's all right, but
You know what? She's fun. She is cotton
well, I'll
candy.
give you that.
No, she's fun. She's cotton candy. And I've heard that she runs good games and all that stuff. I don't know. She seems like she might be interesting to hang out with. I don't know. But she certainly has a shtick that she's monetized and it works for her. So God bless her. I'm not here to there are people that get all bent out of shape with, if you criticize her, it becomes like, leave Ginny alone! Leave Ginny alone! And then you got the people who won't stop criticizing her. I think what she does has its audience. As I'm not a regular member of her audience, I will occasionally watch it. I liked her Monster Mash video or whatever it was. That was fun. That was like, hey, I could enjoy this, but I don't know. I haven't watched very many Ginny D videos.
She's like the last one. Like I think of people for influencers, people like Guy Slanders or Professor Dungeon Master or Bob World Builder. Those people. Excuse me.
I take them serious, right? I mean, and I'm not saying that Ginny can't be taken seriously, but I don't think she expects to be taken with the same amount of authority as Professor DM or Bob World Builder, and not because of gender. Okay, but she's trying to appeal to sex appeal. That's one of her sticks, and she has the assets to do so.
I get. You'll have to take. Yeah, I guess you like the anime magical girl vibe you get off of her. Sure.
Yeah, I know. So,
I know a lot of people who do.
Yeah, I don't think anybody watches Professor DM because
I do.
he's no for cheesecake. You might
you're right. Yeah, you're
you might
right.
watch Ginny for cheesecake. You
Uh-huh.
watch Professor
Right.
DM for different reasons. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that she's only watched for cheesecake, but that's like the bonus, right? That's the what if you were on the fence, that's the extra that's being offered, and she plays it up. And if you can do it, you wouldn't want to see me playing you up for cheesecake. Okay,
Boy, I'm sure glad we didn't get into the Ginny D thing.
Oh, Glenn, I know you. You were like, hey, Eric, maybe you could put on a halter top and let's see what we could do.
Oh,
What are
God.
we going to get away with?
I would get out of this live stream so fast.
And he'd be like, oh my God.
Oh, the goggles, they do nothing. Goodbye.
And it's like, oh, no, please don't, sir. Chris, I am lucky that my players, because I got them into, I already read that. They got them talked before the fifth edition got them, and they're willing to try almost any RPG as long as it's fun. Next, one of them bought Basic Fantasy.
Good.
Basic Fantasy is an awesome
choice.
game.
Good
Chris
choice.
Donovan did a great job, and there was a fucking asshole troll that literally was reprinting all the Basic
Renamed
Fantasy.
it, reprinted it.
Yeah, but Chris and the community around Basic Fantasy does amazing work, and they essentially give that shit away for free or for cost. If you, I buy the adventure material. I own it. I own the rulebooks too, but I buy the adventure material because you can convert to any OSR game, and it's professionally written, and it's inexpensive as anything. It really is great.
I've got the complete lineup so far. I just got the other week. I just got Cryogen's Coterie, which was a book full of NPCs, kind of like the Green Dragon Inn.
Shit, I need to catch up. Blood. 5e needed enough to satisfy grognards that they could work with to get more old school flavor. I think that's what a number of the optional rules in the 5e DMG are for.
That's the trouble with that is you start getting, that's where you talk about builds and you got the latest and greatest. I mean, yeah, it's more old school flavor, but it's just heaping more of the stuff that I don't want to deal with.
I don't know how many of you remember when D&D Next was being initially worked on and announced, the new edition, what became 5e. And Monty Cook was the man handed the reins. And Monty's promise, which is probably why he left the company and did Numenera. But Monty's promise was you'll be able to sit at a table with a character from the original white box, basic 1E, 2E, 3rd edition, 4th edition, and the new 5th edition. And everybody can sit at the table and play the character and the edition they want. That's what was promised. Wow. And I heard that and I was like, oh my God, that if you could get that to work, it would be amazeballs, right? It would be awesome. Well, guess what? They couldn't figure it out. And Monty couldn't figure it out. And for Monty to promise that,
and it's funny, and he's just dealing with one basic rule set, just one. Different issues, and they can't make it work. Can you imagine if he said he could play any role-playing game, no matter what the system? Man, he'd be there for 100 years.
Well, he left, right? In the end, he left. Monty tossed in the towel and said, "Oh, fuck this! I'm going to design my own game, Numenera." So, I mean, and I like Monty's game design. I own Numenera. I've never tried reading the rules because I can't. That fucking bullshit artwork on every page behind the text. Yeah. I can't. My eyes can't read it. I just can't. It's just something that my mind doesn't Can't translate. But that's what the promise of 5e was, and it never came close to that. Chris, can't type tonight. I can't type. There's a reason why I'm not answering anything in the chat, because God knows you wouldn't want me to. One of the players plays fifth still, and that's fine. But he plans to run basic fantasy as his first time DMing. Awesome. And Zatran, I just mean that it needs to be someone with a big needs to be someone with a big audience, and she's got a big audience. She does. That's the main attribute that needs to be able to leverage to get Waxy to move on the old SRDs. I'll be honest with you. I personally, no inside information. Any inside information I might have is still a while out before I'll be able to latch on to any of it. But I am pretty sure whoever was working on that was let go in the purge. And, it's no longer a priority. I mean, think the only priority at WotC at the moment is to get that VTT to a point where they can release it and start charging you money for it. And when I say you, I don't mean anybody that's actually watching. Because if you're watching this, you're probably never going to pay for it. You're not going to be part of that environment. But that is where they see their future. And their future, why spend money on a Creative Commons license to make sure the SRD, which, by the way, was good enough for the OGL, so it should be good enough for the Creative Commons. But why spend another cent on an SRD that doesn't benefit your company?
That's right.
All right? It doesn't benefit WotC. Makes you me. It would make me, as a very small publisher, awesome. I could just take Continue Light and say, "Hey, kaboom, kabam, let's get this done." But that's not the case. That's not the case. And they customer. Remember, it's clear. The customer is job one. You're not job one at WotC. All right. Your only value is how much money you can put into the company. They're about profit. No shame in that. Not saying that they shouldn't be. But they're about profits, and there's no profit in supporting the third edition SRD. So, be it as it may, I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Chris, Jeff on the Gaming Gang this week did a video titled "Why You Should Play Basic Fantasy." It was a great open discussion on the game this week. Highly recommended you take a look. He talks nice about you.
Shout out to Jeff from the Gaming Gang.
Thank you, sir. Chris, I want somebody to bring back classic Top Secret.
You're not
I
the
have
only one.
seen copies on eBay for around 200 and higher used. It's crazy, the hoarding. Not going to happen. Same reason you're not going to see Classic Gamma World come out. But it may come out as I shouldn't say it would never happen. You may at some point find it on drive-thru. I don't think it's up there now. But you may find it up on drive-thru at some point. But remember, the Top Secret trademark is now being used by Solarian Games for Merle Rasmussen's Top Secret New World Order. So, yeah.
And if you ever want to play any of that New World Order, come to North Texas. He always runs them. He always runs one.
It's always fun. Merle is a really cool person, and he's approachable. Most of the old schoolers are approachable. Most of that old original crap. So, but here's the thing: North Texas is sold out for this year.
Well,
there's walk up. There's
okay.
walk up.
There's always walk ups.
Right, but there's 503, 504 registered, and they were capping at 500. So they a few snuck in under. It's like, oh, the doors are closing. The doors are closing. And they got in. But I mean, that's the most that North Texas has ever pre-registered.
Paying for next year's con at last year's con is the smartest thing I ever did.
There you go. It's like, Glenn, I've paid it off. Here you go.
Yeah.
Do I get an early bird?
And since Gage isn't going this year, next year, that's one less badge I have to buy.
Ooh.
Of course, he'll be 21. I should say, buy your own damn badge.
Yeah, you should.
No, he's my grandson. I can't do that. Now, if his girlfriend wants to go, no, you're buying her badge.
Top Secret has never been on drive-through. Okay, I wasn't sure. But
Okay.
you know, the Merle Rasmussen, the man who designed the original Top
Oh.
Secret, which I used to run during was it physics lab? Because we would have physics lab and we would do the lab experiment in 15 minutes, and the lab was a double period. So I would run Top Secret for the rest of it. So it was those cheap ass dice turned into like marbleized dice within the first 2 weeks, rolling on those granite, science lab room tabletops. But oh, Zatron, there you go. Hey, chat. There's 18 of you watching, and only one of you, one like on the stream so far. Fix that. Well,
wow, I didn't know we had a sergeant at arms.
there you go. So we're also streaming on X/Twitter, and what's the other one? Twitch. So on my end, I actually see 22 people. So that's
I'm on Twitch. We're on Twitch.
We're on Twitch.
Wow, never been on Twitch.
I don't know how many people watch on Twitch. I don't know.
And
but
as far as Twitter goes, or X, I call it X-Twit.
X-Twit.
Yeah.
Do you tweet or do you on X? Do you X or do you tweet? Do you tweet? I don't know. Do we still call it a tweet, but it's X?
X is number one. Tweet is no. I gotta go to number two.
Let's put an X on that. No. Sorry, Charlie.
Sometimes even I don't understand my humor.
Chris, I live in Orange County, California, so a bit of a drive. Our big convention is Strategicon in LA, but has a lot of RPGs. I have been told that getting up to 3 weekends of the year. Oh,
you were for Disney. I understand. I used to go to that and OrcCon. Remember OrcCon? It was at the airport, LAX, I believe.
I don't. I've only gone as far west as Vegas. I haven't gone farther.
Well, we should go as far west as Vegas. That would be nice. All four of us.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta. I should see. That's what I gotta do. I gotta sell it. I gotta celebrate the big win. And keep it running. Let's keep the winning streak going at Vegas. Let's put some. Hey, I know we'll turn $1,000 into $146K and cover the expenses. So
sure.
JP, the way to remedy that is to stop working for Disney.
Yeah, for what they're paying, you should.
Oof.
Slave wages.
Listen, I gotta say, I mean, at the time I didn't realize how smart it was, but one of the smartest things I did was take civil service exams and become a New York City police officer, because the pension allows me to be here doing this. It's not quite a joke, but I could not do 3 live streams a week plus a hangout on Discord on Thursday nights
plus your blog,
plus the blog, plus other videos throughout the week, if it wasn't for the fact that the good city of New York has to pay me a pension for the rest of my life. It's a beautiful thing.
When I was young, I tried my damnedest to get into the post office. I couldn't.
Dude, that was the hardest civil service exam I ever took.
What,
mean,
your cop? For cop? Or just
I took it to be mail sorter / mailman. I passed, but I didn't score high enough to ever get called for anything. I was like, oh damn, that test was hard.
I know. In fact, I passed more than once, but I was always like, we're taking the top 10, you're number 11.
Ouch.
Yes, Gateway. Yes, I remember Gateway.
So when I got hired to be a New York City police officer, what they did was, and you got, I think, 2.5 points if you were a city resident added to your score. But you would think that they would actually take you in the order you scored, but they didn't. What they did was anybody with a 95.5 or better was band 1. And there were like 3,500 people in band 1. And they took band 1 and everybody got a random number. So my adjusted score was 100.5. I had a friend who scored 102.5. He got one question wrong in exam. I had a random number of 341. His random number was 2,000. So he scored better than me, but he never got hired because they only hired one class off this of 18, almost 1,900 people. I was on that. I just happened to get a better random number. If it was in order, God knows I might not have made the cut. So it was interesting how they did that. Yeah, okay. Chris, I work in shipping and receiving department for 10 plus years. They pay for all my diabetes meds for free. I avoid the politics. Just clock in, clock out. God bless.
God bless. God bless us.
God
God
bless
bless you.
us. So, Glenn, when do you think your next opportunity to game is going to be? Is that going to be North Texas, or are you going to get into gaming before that?
Possibly this Monday.
Awesome. What are you going to be playing?
Oh, it's my Monday game.
Oh, all right. So good.
5E Eberron.
All right.
Eberron. It's just that last 3 weeks we've been on hiatus because one thing or another. Either me or some other people. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Well, we game every other Tuesday. Sorry, but what happened was Joe had family stuff going on, so we had to delay a week. And then when we delayed a week, I already had plans for that Tuesday to see friends we hadn't seen in a couple of months. So I missed the session, but thankfully I was able to come back for the following session, which is the way we got all the experience points and stuff. Because I would have been very upset if I missed the one that we did very well. Has there ever been a Logan's Run RPG? I don't know. I don't think so. And I don't know if anybody's done. I don't know. Take the serial numbers off. Rip of that. I know when I was younger, I really loved Logan's Run. I don't know why. Maybe because I was younger and I like the whole idea of getting terminated when you got old was, I don't know if it was appealing or just disturbing, but I just really liked it.
I wasn't crazy about it myself. I know they did Blade Runner. Somebody did Blade Runner.
Yeah, recently, yeah. Blade Runner was fun. I even liked the updated Blade Runner movie. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying I'd watch it again, but it wasn't bad.
You know, that's the one movie I always own that I end up selling. And I don't know why. I bought it about 5 times. Usually it's when I need money. That's the first thing to go.
Oh, all right. It's something
and the last one was I got a mint for it because it was the DVD set that came in the briefcase, the Voight Kampf briefcase with all the extras and everything in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was something.
Very cool.
I paid a pittance for it and made out.
There you go.
Yeah.
JP says nothing official, but you could probably use D20 Sci-Fi to suss it out. Blade Runner has about 30 different edits. Ace Victorious is a fun game.
Yeah.
It really is.
Planet of the Apes, but
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. I remember getting to see a pre-release version of that from Tim Schneider when it was being worked on. So I don't know, Glenn. We may have reached. I don't know if you can hear the cat scratching at her goddamn pan behind me. Which means I'm
get
gonna
out there. I need service.
Hello, I think I pooped my pan. Ugh.
What you're supposed to do.
Well, yeah.
You know, it took
true.
me a year when I had my first. I've owned cats before. My first cat. I thought they were so expensive because every time they pooped some during the week, I'd just dump everything out and put everything fresh. It never occurred to me I could scoop it.
Scoop the poop. A scoop of the poop. You scoop of the pooper, you throw out the pooper, you leave the litter.
I kept saying, man, this cat litter. I'm going broke over the cat litter.
I took one poop and Daddy threw everything out. Wait, I was just getting it to smell nice. And he threw it all away. It was beginning to smell like me.
That's the idea.
Anyway,
what do you say? We wrap this up?
I say we wrap it. Yeah.
Probably have to go lie down anyway and take some more meds.
Meds, the final frontier.
I wish.
Listen, I want to just thank everybody for the support of the last year and a half. That's how long this drama has taken to play, and the support's been awesome. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I can't say that enough because it certainly helps to have support when you feel that you are being wronged, and you've been all great. Zatrin, you're very welcome.
Yes, you are.
Everyday Heroes systems have a lot of IPs that covers it. And there's a problem. We got to do an episode that touches on Everyday Heroes because apparently there's a problem with the publisher there, but that's a whole other stuff.
I have to get a copy of that. Maybe at the con. I don't know. Thank you, Chris. I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna do another voice, but
well,
I can't. I can't really do the great show. Great. I don't. Oh, great. I can't.
When we move to the new place, I'm gonna try and get more into voice acting and narration. So
okay.
I'm good for that.
Hobbs, yes, you're late, but I'm glad that you made it. Watch the replay. Watch the replays. And we will see you at Hobbs. We will see you at North Texas. You actually might have to get a hug. I'm just saying. I know Glenn's getting a hug, but you know,
hob hug. You get a hob hug.
You get a hob hug?
Yeah.
Hoppity hippity hoppy. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the congrats. It was if it had been filed in New York State, it would have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. The court would have thrown it out. But thanks to the federal court system, I had to wait 18 months.
Ta-da!
JP, I found you through Thomas V. Good people. And by the way, I'm going to just say just a little bit. There is a blessing in disguise to this whole drama that I went through. And people like Don Samora and Tom Veralt and their better halves are people that I would not know as well as I do if not for this bullshit. And I guess that is a huge blessing, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So yes, go figure that one out, right? In adversity comes strength and friendship and shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, Tom, thank you. All right, folks. On
Do your
that
thing.
note, Live stream tomorrow night. Rach and I, Gamers Health. If you can't figure out one of the topics we're going to be touching on, I can't help you. I can't help you. You can just guess. It's going to be a topic for the week. But I'm just saying. But other than that, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. Thank you, Glenn, for again. Glenn,
Listen to Radio Grognard.
when does it come? When does the next episode go up?
Hopefully Monday. If
Monday.
not, the following week.
I
gotta see how much we have left to do to move the house. I mean, this is going to be the last Triple D in this space.
Ooh, next Triple D in no space.
We already got the internet going at the other house, so there we go.
They want to know how to find your.
It's Spotify for podcasters.
Ooh.
And some other platforms. I believe iTunes has it too. Apple
But
Podcasts.
it's going to find in any of your podcast service because Spotify, which used to be Anchor, will put it out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't get to see Glenn's beautiful face.
It's Old Man Grognard, OL'.
Okay, there we go. So here, I'm going to just put that into the chat so folks can. That's the site you got to put.
That's the spelling.
That's the spelling. All right, folks, we're out of here. Thank you. God bless. And
good night, folks.
I couldn't do all of this without you, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.